Now please remain standing as we honor our nation and its flag. Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome Rachel Long. The top half of the first inning of this afternoon's game is brought to you by leading off this afternoon's game for Southern Maryland at the top of the order, number 4, the left fielder, Matt Hibbert.
Welcome to this presentation of Blue Crabs baseball on the road at Clipper Magazine Stadium for Game 3 of this 3-game series. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs come into this one with a 29-10 record as they take on the Lancaster Barnstormers. The Blue Crabs will go for the sweep this afternoon. A 1 p.m. start. It's the earliest start in the Atlantic League, as Matt Hibbert will lead things off for the Blue Crabs. Southern Maryland has won 6 of their last 7. They have the best record in the Atlantic League. Lancaster Barnstormers are going with an opener today as they have a bullpen day. Too many games in too few days, the story for Lancaster, as the first pitch is a little bit upstairs for ball 1 on Matt Hibbert. We'll run through the Blue Crabs batting order in just one moment, as Johnson gets the sign from Anthony Perrone, who's behind the plate today. It was Colton Shaver yesterday, but Shaver over at first base today. 1-0, swinging a line drive, left center field. It's going to be extra bases for Matt Hibbert, who rounds first, And goes into second standing up. The left fielder Trayvon Robinson gathers and tosses into the cutoff man Jake Hoover. And there's a runner on second to lead things off for the Blue Crabs in the first inning. And here comes Ian Yetzko, who finished a double shy of the cycle yesterday. Hit a 2-run home run to right field. Had a 2 RBI triple to left center. And also picked up a single in the first inning of yesterday's game. Well, the Blue Crabs, once they play defense, will send Daryl Thompson to the mound. The pitching coach will be back to the mound today. Pitched last in Long Island, Charleston, I should say. First pitch is swung on and fouled off. First base side.
Brought to you by Frisco's Chicken, home of Lancaster's favorite chicken. Serving great food.
Ian Yetzko. It's off to a strong start this season. He's been in and out of the lineup, but his batting average really speaks for itself. He's up over 300. And the 0-1 pitch, low and away, count 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's go at 320 to be precise. Johnson set. 1-1. That runs in. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. On the road trip, again, Ian Yetzko has had limited action, as he is in total just 5 for 7. Doesn't get much better than that, but again, as I mentioned earlier, not all that many games. This is game 13 of a 13-game road trip for the Blue Crabs. No score on the top of the first. Runner on second base. 2-1 offering a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Fouled back to the screen behind home plate. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's Matt Hibbert, who came into this game with a 178 batting average, who roped a double into left center field.
Hi.
Yetzko digs back in. Just had a fan say hi. I believe that got on the broadcast as well. He will not be my color commentator today. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, at a pitch low and away in the dirt. And that is strike 3. There's 1 away in the top of the first. These two teams were scoreless through 3 innings yesterday.
Number 8 center fielder, Zach Collier.
Across 3 innings of work. Or beg your pardon, that was back in game 1. In game 2, Lancaster did score 2 runs in the first, but back in game 1, the two teams were scoreless through 3 and combined for 8 runs in the 4th. The Blue Crabs have fallen behind in 4 of the last 5 games. They're also winners in 4 of their last 5. First pitch is upstairs, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Blue Crabs trailed in all 3 games of the series against York. Won 2 of those 3 games. Blue Crabs scored first last game. Or scored first in game 1, I should say, but allowed the first runs back in game 2 in yesterday's game. Count 1 ball and no strikes in the lefty Zach Collier. Runner on second base and 1 out. Chase Johnson taking an awfully long time to deliver the baseball. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Blew a fastball by him at 94. Sizzles past the bat of Zach Collier, who bats 3rd for the Blue Crabs. Let's run through the Blue Crabs order. Matt Hibbert leads things off. Ian Yetzko bats 2nd. Zach Collier bats 3rd. It's Jared Walker, who's in the cleanup spot. Alex Crosby, who bats 5th. He's at 3rd base. Braxton Lee bats 6th. Joe DeLuca in the 7th spot, as the 1-1 pitch is a little bit inside. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Ryan Haug bats 8th, and Michael Baca in the 9th spot. Calling balls and strikes, it's Bill Ruther, Warren Nicholson at 1st, and Carl Villanueva over at 3rd base. Very light breeze today. On another beautiful day in Lancaster, the weather has been terrific. 2-1, 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Cut on and missed from Zach Collier in the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hibbert from second with 1 out. No score on the top of the first. Collier digs back in. In yesterday's game, Zach Collier was 1 for 2. Scored 2 runs and walked 3 times. It's part of the Blue Crabs' 9-8 win. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, left field. It's right at the left fielder, Trayvon Robinson, who drifts a couple steps back and makes the catch for the second out. Well, Chase Johnson throwing hard. He's throwing 97 miles an hour. And you didn't really have to wonder how many pitchers are left for Lancaster, given that they had to go to the bullpen after just 4 innings yesterday. They've had a few bullpen days recently, including on Monday as part of a doubleheader against Staten Island. For most teams, they had a day game on Monday for Memorial Day, and teams really haven't had as much time to reset, but when you make that day game into a doubleheader, it just gives you all the less time, especially when you're short-staffed with your rotation. First pitch, low and in for ball 1 on Jared Walker. 2 away now in the top of the first. Solid crowd on hand here at Clipper Magazine Ballpark, especially down that third baseline. 75 degrees on a Sunday afternoon. 1-0 pitch, swinging a foul tip that deflects off of the catcher Anthony Peroni's glove. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike on the lefty Jared Walker. Walker was thrown out of yesterday's game on a called strike 3. Did not even turn around to say anything to the umpire. He was walking away. And whatever was said, yesterday's home plate umpire, Carl Villanueva, did not like, and he threw him out. 1-1 pitch, that's up and away. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Chase Johnson is making his 17th appearance of the season. It's just his 3rd start. He went 4 innings on Thursday against Staten Island. 2-1 pitch, called strike on the outside corner, count 2-2. So limited rest for Johnson, but he's still throwing hard. We've seen him touch 97 a couple of times today. Walks are not a big issue for Johnson. He's walked just 10 batters across 30 innings. He struck out 30 in that time frame. Allowed 22 hits. Johnson's had a really strong year in general. 2-2 pitch. That's up and away. Count 3-2. 98 that time on the heater. Runner on second base and 2 outs. Full count upcoming to Jared Walker with no score in the top of the first inning. Blue Crabs and Barnstormers in game 3 of a 3-game set. The Blue Crabs in game 13 out of 13 as part of this road trip. They will return home on Tuesday to take on the Long Island Ducks before hitting the road again at Charleston. 3-2, fastball upstairs, ball 4. Runners on first and second for the Blue Crabs in the top of the first. And that brings up Alex Crosby. Well, we're happy to have you on hand, and as always, if you would like a shout out, just write your name and your location in the YouTube chat. We'll be happy to give you a shout out. Peroni with a quick discussion with Chase Johnson out on the mound. As Peroni returns back behind home plate, Alex Crosby, who's riding an 8-game hit streak, steps in. Just 1 for 5 in each of his last 2 games, but it's enough to continue that hit streak. Crosby comes in with a .306 batting average. First pitch, fastball, just a little bit upstairs, and the count 1-0. And if there was any question as to whether or not Chase Johnson would come back out for the second inning, I think pitch count's going to have a lot to do with it. This will be his 20th pitch of the inning. The 1-0 is upstairs. Count 2 balls and no strikes, and all of a sudden, after a great start and showing good control early, Chase Johnson has walked Jared Walker and fallen behind in the count. 2 balls and no strikes on Alex Crosby. Through 20 pitches, Chase Johnson has thrown 11 balls and 9 strikes. 2-0 pitch. Oh my, looked close, but called ball 3. Might have missed a little bit in and maybe a little bit up, but awfully close on Crosby. Hibbert from second, Walker from first with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. No score. 3-0 pitch. That's a called strike. Nearly identical location to the first and third pitches. But he gets the called strike this time from the home plate umpire, Bill Ruther. On a calm Sunday afternoon. Perfect day for baseball. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's low. That's ball 4. And back-to-back walks issued from Chase Johnson. And this was after the first 2 plays, or the first 2 batters of the game. Didn't really have any issues throwing strikes. He strikes out Ian Yetzko. It's a fly out to left from Zach Collier. Had 2 strikes on Collier. And he walks Jared Walker and he walks Alex Crosby. 8 of the last 11 pitches have been balls from Chase Johnson. And it brings up Braxton Lee. Bases are loaded for the Blue Crabs. It's Hibbert from third, Walker from second, and Crosby from first with no score in the top of the first inning.
Number 13, Braxton Lee.
Was a brief meeting at the mound from the pitching coach, Mark Johnson. Braxton Lee played in AAA for most of last season. He's got an outstanding arm. First pitch runs up, or low in, I should say, on Lee. If he was in Major League Baseball, he would probably have one of the top 10 arms in the league. It's that good. And we've seen him with outfield assist after outfield assist after outfield assist. He's got good arm strength. He's got tremendous accuracy. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled back to the netting. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. He told me, look, even if I think there's only a 1% chance that someone would normally try to get this guy, I'm going to give it a shot because that 1% chance could very well be an out. And he's proven many, many times that it can be. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on Lee, who's in right field today. Swung on, drilled high in the air, deep left center field, back to the warning track. It's going to one-hop the wall. 2-run score. They send Crosby around from third. He'll score. It's a 3 RBI triple from Braxton Lee, who hits that one to the left center field gap, and the Blue Crabs with an emphatic 3-0 start. Oh, what a terrific piece of hitting from Braxton Lee, who gets a fastball out over the plate, and he drills it the other way as it one-hops the KA appliance sign. Braxton Lee's got some wheels, and he earned a stand-up triple as Alex Crosby could trot home all the way from first. It's a bases clearing triple for the Blue Crabs, and they lead this one 3-0. Hibbert, Walker, and Crosby all score on the triple from Braxton Lee, and now it's Joe DeLuca who stands in from the left side. First pitch to DeLuca, that's low. Count 1 ball and no strikes. DeLuca will be followed by Ryan Haug if necessary. Today, Joe DeLuca is the designated hitter. He was catcher yesterday and DH back in game 1. He and Ryan Haug have been going back and forth between catching and designated hitter. And their numbers prove that they really should be in the lineup every night. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball. DeLuca swung over it, the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Both DeLuca and Haug had their 6-game hit streak snapped yesterday. Haug still has an on-base streak of 7 games, though, as he was walked and hit by a pitch yesterday. DeLuca did add a pair of RBIs. 1-1 pitch, cut on and fouled back, count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Earned a sacrifice fly and a slow ground out, both of which drove in runs in yesterday's game. So it's Lee from third, 3-0 Blue Crabs in the top of the first inning. The Blue Crabs on the board first for just the second time in the last 6 games. Blue Crabs scored first in game 1 and won that game 9-5. 1-2, 97. It runs way inside on DeLuca, who has to dodge his way out of the way. It's not fun when you see 97 miles an hour coming right at you, waist high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This will be the 31st pitch from Chase Johnson. Allowed 3 runs across 2/3 of an inning. And the 2-2 is away. Count 3 into 2. Possibly tried to overcorrect as he came way inside on Joe DeLuca and then misses outside. 2 outs and a full count on the DH. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high pop-up foul behind home plate. It's going to get out of play. And looks like Joe DeLuca is going to get a new bat. That one might have splintered. Alex Crosby gives him a new piece of lumber. There is action in Lancaster's bullpen. You'd have to think that after 32 pitches, this will be the 33rd pitch of Chase Johnson's afternoon, that he'll probably be done. It's after going 4 innings on Thursday. Runner on third base, 2 outs. Blue Crabs already have 3 runs in the inning. Johnson set, gets the sign from his catcher, Anthony Peroni. Setting up a little bit away. 3-2. Swinging a high pop-up foul yet again. We're going to do it again. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat upcoming to Joe DeLuca. It's already a bullpen day, and Lancaster probably thought there was a chance they could get a couple innings out of Chase Johnson if he worked a quick first, but it's been anything but a quick first. And instead, we'll have to see exactly how many pitchers Lancaster uses, but it could be upwards of 7 or 8. 3-2, that's upstairs, ball 4. Joe DeLuca walks, and there are runners on the corners with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. So after a bases clearing triple from Braxton Lee, it's Joe DeLuca who reaches via a walk. It's 4 consecutive batters that have reached, 3 of which have come via the walk. Coming into this ball game, Chase Johnson had walked just 10 batters across 30 innings. That's on average 1 walk every 3 innings. But today it's been the inverse, 3 walks in 1 inning. He hasn't even finished the inning either. And now there's a question as to whether or not Joe DeLuca might take off for second base. First pitch to Ryan Haug, swinging a slow ground ball over to short. Quick play by Jake Hoover, who tosses across the diamond in time for the final out. It's a very long 35-pitch inning for Chase Johnson, where he surrenders 3 runs. The Blue Crabs have a 3-0 lead at the end of the top of the first. The Barnstormers come to that when we come back.
Which fun fact, you look like the girl that's...
This is Patrick Baker, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
When you need a win on the road, don't get left stranded. Make AAA part of your roster, and you'll always have someone on deck ready to get you home. AAA also offers car care, insurance, and travel services, and has stores conveniently located for Blue Crabs fans in Brandywine, Crofton, and Alexandria. Don't forget to ask them about membership discounts for military and first responders. Please visit AAA.com to learn more or to find a AAA location near you.
This is Dalton Geeky, and you're listening to Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, we go to the bottom of the first inning as the Stellar Maryland Blue Crabs have already put up a 3 spot on a 3 RBI triple from Braxton Lee. Daryl Thompson on the mound. The first pitch to Ladarius Clark is swung on and grounded over to third. Easily gobbled up by the third baseman Crosby, who tosses to first for the first out in time. 1 pitch and 1 out for Daryl Thompson. You'll see that quite a bit from the right-hander, who throws a lot of strikes. The velocity isn't that high, but it's the control and the movement that makes the difference for Daryl Thompson at this point in his career. Thompson comes in with a 4.31 ERA. First pitch to Cordero. Oh, looked close. Not exactly sure where that one missed. Maybe a little low and outside. The count 1 ball and no strikes nonetheless on the righty. 1-0 offering. That's away. Count 2 balls and no strikes. Base path's empty, 1 out, 2-0 pitch. Swinging a line drive foul over toward the Blue Crabs bullpen. And the count 2-1. The Blue Crabs are 29-10. They have the best record in the Atlantic League. 1 game better than the High Point Rockers. 2-1 from Thompson. Called strike on the outer half, and the count 2-2. In his last start, Daryl Thompson went 6 innings, allowed 9 hits, only allowed 3 runs when he was in the game, was eventually charged with 4 runs. As the 2-2 pitch, that's low and away. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Daryl Thompson does not walk a lot of batters. He had 1 start this year where he walked 4 of his 10 batters he's walked all year. It's against Long Island, 3-2. Oh, looked close, just a little bit outside for ball 4 on Andretti Cordero. There's a runner on first base with 1 out. So after Daryl Thompson earns a 1-pitch out, he issues a 6-pitch walk to Andretti Cordero. And here comes Kelly Dugan, who homered twice in yesterday's game and now has the league lead in home runs at 14. First pitch, swinging a line drive right to Walker at first base, who snags it and steps on first base for a double play. Kelly Dugan hit that one on the nose, but it was right at Jared Walker, who made the catch and stepped on the bag for a double play. Well, that ends the first inning. The Blue Crabs still hold a 3-0 lead as we go to the top of the second. Stick with us on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
3, 2, 1, go Declan, go.
This is Patrick Baker, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
American Radiology is the clear choice for all of your medical imaging needs. With locations in Charles and Calvert counties, they offer a full range of imaging services. Some of their latest innovations included 3D mammography and wide-open MRIs for our claustrophobic patients. For your convenience, they even offer extended weekday hours and Saturdays. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at AmericanRadiology.com.
This is David Harris, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, you just heard from David Harris moments ago on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. He did join the Blue Crabs for this trip in Lancaster, has not played, as the pitch is low and, oh, I beg your pardon, that's a called strike. It looked a little bit low and away, but either way, it is a called strike, and the count 0-1 on Michael Baca. Brett Clark on the mound for Lancaster. 0-1 pitch, same spot, same result, called strike, and the count 0-2 on Michael Baca. Brett Clark has a 9.82 ERA. And again, I would imagine that there are a lot of pitchers who are coming in here who are coming to just one inning. 0-2, swinging a slow ground ball over to third. Easily gathered by the third baseman Cordero, who fires to first. It's in time to get Baca, and there is one away. And here comes Matt Hibbert back to the top of the lineup. Hibbert led off in the first inning with a double. He later came around to score on the 3 RBI triple from Braxton Lee. There were 3 walks issued by Chase Johnson, the starter. First pitch is low and away for ball 1 on Hibbert. Johnson, I beg your pardon, Clark has been throwing a lot of pitches right in the low 80s. Base path's empty, 3-0 Blue Crabs. All 3 runs coming back in the top of the first. Pitch to Hibbert, swinging a soft line drive towards shallow right, but the second baseman, Trace Lair, drifts back and makes the catch over the shoulder for the second out. Good recognition by Lair. The ball was not quite hard hit enough to drop in. And there are 2 away in the top of the second. Blue Crabs ahead by 3 with 2 away. Base paths are empty. Here comes Ian Yetzko. Yetzko was 3 for 5 yesterday. A double shy of the cycle. He went down swinging at a pitch low and out of the zone back in the first. First pitch, a called strike. On the very outside corner. 0-1 pitch, that's low. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Yetzko steps back in. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball, left field. It's Trayvon Robinson who shades over to left center and makes the catch for the final out. Well, Brett Clark came in with a 9.8 ERA, but he retires the Blue Crabs in order. 1-2-3 to end the top of the second inning. Oh, we'll go to the bottom of the second. The Blue Crabs still have a 3-0 lead over Lancaster.
Right here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. All right, so shout out to Michael. So it's always sunshine and that's right here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Fun punts for Alex.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Chick-fil-A of Charles County has been a proud supporter of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since their inception in 2008. For years, they have sponsored the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, America's prisoners of war and missing in action. In between the second inning of each game, there is a moment of silence brought to you by Chick-fil-A. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs appreciate and respect not only Chick-fil-A, but all of those that have served our great country. The seat that they sponsor was made possible by Chick-fil-A of Charles County. Thank you so much, and visit any of your Charleston County Chick-fil-A locations today.
We offer a wide array of services, including performance, business, and Link helps you achieve your desired outcome with some of your business.
Link is pleased to honor great local business professionals with which they collaborate. Link Business of the Game is big in the industries. They create meaningful and strategic brand design and marketing that elevates ideas, changes perceptions, and inspires action. They're also the creators and producers of Dave Magazine. Find out more at daveindustries.com. For the Barnstormers, number 35, first baseman Colton Shaver.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Bottom of the second inning, you just heard from Daryl Thompson a couple of moments ago. The first pitch to the 4-hitter, Colton Shaver, is a called strike on the outside corner, and the count 0-1. Well, Daryl Thompson back out for the bottom of the second inning with his Blue Crabs ahead 3-0. 0-1, swinging a high pop-up to second base. Ian Yetzko trying to shade his eyes from the sun as he puts his hand over his face and makes the catch for the first out. His hand was really up above his face trying to block the sun out. It is very sunny today. It's not quite as sunny as it is for me when it's 7 o'clock here at Clipper Magazine Stadium and that sun goes directly into your eyes, but it's still very sunny. There is one away. An untraditional 1-2-3 inning back in the first for Daryl Thompson. He earned a ground out to third. He walked a batter and then got Kelly Dugan to line into a double play. First pitch to Trayvon Robinson, that's low for ball one. Well, our trivia question is going to be in the top of the fourth inning. Is related to Daryl Thompson's innings, as the 1-0 pitch is low and the count 2 balls and no strikes. A lot of our questions have to do with Major League Baseball records today. It's another one of those. 2-0 pitch, swinging a tapper over toward first. Crosby's got time. He flips to Daryl Thompson instead, who wins the race to the bag in front of Trayvon Robinson.
Number 33.
And there are 2 away.
Trace Lair.
That brings up Trace Lair. Daryl Thompson has pitched just 13 pitches through an inning and 2/3. And that's the Daryl Thompson we've gotten used to over the years. Not someone who gets into a lot of deep counts, doesn't walk a lot of batters. He pitches to contact for the most part. First pitch, swinging a high pop-up, shallow right field. It's the second baseman, Yetzko, who gives way to the right fielder, Braxton Lee, who makes the catch for the final out. Well, that ends the second inning. The Blue Crabs still on top, 3-0. An awfully quick inning for Daryl Thompson. He pitched just 6 pitches. We'll step aside when we come back. It's the top of the third inning. Blue Crabs still ahead by 3.
This is Matt Latos, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Patrick Baker, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Top of the third inning, the Blue Crabs have a 3-0 lead. They send 3, 4, and 5 in the order to the plate. Zach Collier will be followed by Jared Walker and Alex Crosby. First pitch from Brett Clark, a little bit low on the count, 1 ball and no strikes on Collier. Blue Crabs scored all 3 runs in this ball game back in the top of the first inning. Was a bases clearing triple from Braxton Lee. This one swung on, hit high in the air, left field, rather deep. The left fielder Kelly Dugan takes a couple of steps in front of the warning track where he makes the catch for the first down. That ball was maybe only hit 280 feet, but it's 300, I mean, at best, down that first base line to the foul pole. It might be even less than that. It's listed as 300. It looks closer. And then from the right field corner all the way through right center, it's a very short porch to the extent that a ball hit maybe 330 feet to right field is going to get out of here. And not down the line. I mean right center, really. Brings up Jared Walker with 1 out in the top of the third. First pitch called, oh no, it's called ball is what it's called. Thought it was going to be a called strike, might have clipped the outside corner, but the home plate umpire, Bill Ruther, says that it's away. The count 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Clark worked a quick 8-pitch first inning of work, so he's back out here for the second. The 1-0 is away, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. And pitch counts are becoming so important at the major league level, but I think it's important to remember that not every pitch is equal. I mean, you don't have an 102-mile-an-hour fastball is not the same as an 85-mile-an-hour fastball. As the 2-0 pitch is swung on, a high pop-up in a shallow right center. It's the center fielder Clark who comes on and makes the catch for the second out. All 3 fielders were converging. Ladarius Clark, Trey Slayer, and Kelly Dugan all in on that ball, and it was finally Ladarius Clark who called everyone off and made the running catch. It's in about as much no man's land as you can find in right center. 2 outs in the top of the third. And if you're throwing 85 miles an hour, I mean, it says something totally different about what you're trying to do out there. And it's not going to hurt your arm because it's not the same stress that a 102-mile-an-hour fastball is putting on it. Well, the first pitch to Alex Crosby, cut on, popped up the third baseman. Oh my, Andretti Cordero falls down and still makes the catch from his seat. Oh my goodness. He fell down, he tripped on the grass in right field. Fell down and made the catch while sitting down on the ground. Well, either way, it's another 1-2-3 inning from Brett Clark. The end of 3, it's still, or end of 2.5, I should say, it's still 3-0 Blue Crabs.
When you need a win on the road, don't get left stranded. Make AAA part of your roster and you'll always have someone on deck ready to get you home. AAA also offers car care, insurance, and travel services and has stores conveniently located for Blue Crabs fans in Brandywine, Crofton, and Alexandria. Don't forget to ask them about membership discounts for military and first responders. Please visit AAA.com to learn more or to find a AAA location near you.
Well, the first pitch from Daryl Thompson is away for ball 1 on Anthony Peroni. 83 miles an hour on the fastball from Thompson. Count 1 ball and no strikes on Peroni. 1-0, swinging a line drive, left center field deep, back toward the warning track. It's going to one-hop the wall. It's the center fielder, Zach Collier, who throws it in towards third. It's a leadoff double from Anthony Peroni here in the third inning. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs
So we'll get a winner for that as well.
allow their first hit of the ball game. Daryl Thompson recorded back-to-back 1-2-3 innings.
Number 7, the shortstop, Jake Hoover.
And here comes Jake Hoover. We'll have to see who's going to come in on deck. I could see Lancaster sticking with Brett Clark after just 13 pitches over 2 innings of work, a pair of 1-2-3 innings. You want someone to eat innings. He's only thrown 13 pitches. He might be worth sticking with. First pitch called strike on the outside corner to Hoover. With that said, you've got a runner on second base and nobody out. And an opportunity to drive in a run. 0-1, swinging a foul ball back behind home plate. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Runner on second base, nobody out. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Still 3-0 Southern Maryland. All 3 runs came way back in the top of the 1st. But Jake Hoover looking to change that. He's hitting 241 on the year. The 0-2, it's up and away. Count 1-2, and there's no secret that Daryl Thompson's fastball isn't going to blow you away, but it's the other work that he does. We've seen him throw upper 80s, lower 90s even at times, but you know, he's 80 to 83 today. First pitch, swinging a line drive in a shallow right field. It's a base hit just over the leaping glove of Ian Yetzko. And there are runners on the corners now with nobody out. So Jake Hoover comes through with a base hit. It's Peroni to third, Hoover at first.
Now batting pitcher, number 15, Brett Clark.
And Brett Clark, the pitcher, is going to bat. And I understand it from the perspective of you want him to pitch a little longer, but you're in a situation that it's a critical spot right now with runners on the corners and nobody out. You don't want to give away a free out, as the first pitch is an 86-mile-an-hour fastball that runs up and in on Clark. The count, 1 ball and no strikes. He's up there to swing away, though. 1-0, called strike. Count, 1 ball and 1 strike. 85 on the fastball from Thompson. It's Ladarius Clark on deck, followed by Andretti Cordero, and if necessary, Kelly Dugan. 1 through 3 in this lineup is dangerous. 1-1, swing and a miss. Snap throw down to third. Walker even had some trouble handling it, but he manages to keep it in front of him, which makes the runner on third base, Anthony Peroni, stay put. Count, 1 ball and 2 strikes on the righty, Brett Clark. This is Clark's first at bat of the season. As part of the double hook rule, now it says if a pitcher goes 5 innings of work, the team will keep the DH for the entire game, but runner goes, swinging a foul tip. It's going to send the runner on first base, Jake Hoover, back to first. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, Jake Hoover has 5 stolen bases. He's 5 for 5 on the year. Ladarius Clark leads all Barnstormers with 11 stolen bases. He's 11 out of 12. The pitch, called strike 3. Brett Clark knew it. It's a fastball at the knees at 87 miles an hour, and it is strike 3. There is 1 out. Well, it's a big out for Daryl Thompson as he gets Brett Clark looking. Ladarius Clark now steps up. Ladarius Clark has strong speed, but the defense back at double play depth. First pitch, runner goes, throw it out to second base. It's a good one, but a terrific jump from Jake Hoover, and he steals second. Well, that takes the double play out of the question. The count, 1 ball and no strikes as the pitch was up. Peroni from third, Hoover from second. After Chase Johnson went down looking, it's the first strikeout of the day from Daryl Thompson. Pitch to Clark, swinging a high pop-up. Shallow center field, brings Collier in. He makes the catch, and they're not going to test him. The throw was offline. It would have scored Anthony Peroni, but he didn't know that, and what he did know is Zach Collier has a terrific arm out in center, and there are 2 away with runners on second and third and 2 outs. Bottom of the third inning, the Blue Crabs still with a 3-0 lead. Those 3 runs came on a 3 RBI triple by the right fielder, Braxton Lee, who went the other way to deep left center. Cleared the bases with 2 outs in the top of the first. Barnstormers looking to change that. Andretti Cordero has 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. First pitch, a very slow breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count 0-1. 67 miles an hour on the off-speed pitch. Hoover from second, Peroni from third. Here's the 0-1 from Thompson. Slow and away, count 1-1. Anthony Peroni, who is the catcher for Lancaster. He's on third. Hoover, the shortstop, on second. Count 1-1 on Cordero. Pitch, swinging a ground ball over to third. Nicely fielded by Crosby. The toss to first is in time. Daryl Thompson works into trouble. He works out of trouble and escapes the inning unscathed. We're finished with 3. It's the Blue Crabs 3 and the Barnstormers 0 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
All Pawn is Southern Maryland's premier pawn shop and is the official pawn shop of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Stop by and say hello today. They've been a part of the Southern Maryland community for 18 years. If you need some cash to hold you over, or if you're just doing some spring cleaning and want to clear some stuff out, please bring it by All Pawn and let them make you an offer. If you have broken jewelry or some that you just don't want anymore, please bring it by and they'll pay you more than anyone in the Tri-County area. They're located on 301 in White Plains, just south of DeMar Road. Go Blue Crabs!
This is Patrick Baker, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
You just heard from Patrick Baker moments ago. Patrick Baker has had a really strong start to the season out of the bullpen. We may see him today, but with the pitch count from Daryl Thompson, he might not come out of the game for a while. The first pitch from Brett Clark is a called strike on Braxton Lee, with the Blue Crabs ahead 3-0 in the top of the fourth inning. Brett Clark has thrown 2 innings. This is his 16th pitch. This one is swinging a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. Braxton Lee, 2 for 2. A bases clearing triple in the first and a single here in the fourth. Yesterday, it was Ian Yetzko who finished a double shy of the cycle. And here in the fourth inning, Ali has 2 of the 4 pieces, a triple and a single. Joe DeLuca steps in from the left side, his second at bat of the game. He earned a walk in the first inning. Brett Clark has been throwing a lot of strikes, pounding the zone. The first pitch, DeLuca squares around a bunt and pulls back. That's not something you see every day out of your biggest power threat in the lineup, or at least one of your biggest power threats. Runner on first base, nobody out. It's not really much of a pull shift on Joe DeLuca. 1-0. Breaking ball, and he was ahead of it. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on DeLuca. As Braxton Lee leads off of first base, he's got some speed. Would not be surprising to see him go. Braxton Lee spent a lot of time last year in AAA with the Louisville Bats. The pitcher, Brett Clark, tosses over to check on Lee. There is no action in the Lancaster bullpen. I think that for now they've found someone who might be able to eat a few more innings. Would not be surprised if Clark finishes the 4th and maybe pitches the 5th as well, especially if he can keep this pitch count down. 1-1 to DeLuca, that's upstairs, count 2-1. It's the first time he's fallen behind on a batter today. Top of the 4th inning, it was Chase Johnson who started for Lancaster. He allowed 3 runs in the top of the 1st inning. It's the only 3 runs that have been scored in this ball game. From there, Brett Clark entered. He's gone 2 innings through just 13 pitches across the 2nd and 3rd. So he tosses over to first to check on Braxton Lee yet again. Dives in safely. Two-on, swinging a ground ball foul, first base side, over toward the Lancaster bullpen. In the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes on the lefty. I should specify, he's a switch hitting designated hitter. Who also will do some catching. Certainly has a lot of pop in his bat. There's no question about that. Hit 3 home runs between Monday and Tuesday of this past week. 2-2. Wave and a miss, struck him out. Joe DeLuca goes down swinging. And there's 1 away in the top of the 4th.
Children's Hospital of Philadelphia.
That brings up Ryan Haug. With Braxton Lee on first base and 1 out, it's Haug who will be followed by Michael Baca. It's the first strikeout of the day from Brett Clark, who's now thrown 21 pitches across 2 1/3. First pitch to Haug. It's upstairs and away, a snap throw down to first. And Colton Shaver catches it, doesn't really apply much of a tag on Braxton Lee, who skittered back to the bag. Runner on first, 1 out. It's Braxton Lee who led off the inning with a single. Here's the 1-0, that's away, count 2-0. The trivia question is coming in the bottom of the 4th inning. I want to get to some of those YouTube shout-outs shortly. Again, if you'd like a shout-out, just let us know your name and where you're listening from. 2-0 pitch. Well, a little bit low, count 3 balls and no strikes now on Haug. Has a 7-game on-base streak working. Go ahead and comment in the YouTube chat. Here's the pitch. That's low. Check swing. Did he go? No, he held up. And it turns out that that last one that looked good, that I thought was a ball, well, I guess Bill Ruther called it a strike. And the count is now 3-1, as the last pitch was the 2-1 that missed low and away. Runner on first base and 1 out. Count 3 balls and a strike on Ryan Howd. Runner goes, swing, and a foul ball that goes back behind home plate, and the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 on and 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. Southern Maryland scored 3 in the top of the 1st. All thanks to the man on first base who drove in Matt Hibbert, Jared Walker, and Alex Crosby on a bases-clearing triple. Runner goes again, 3-2, swinging a line drive over to shortstop, and the shortstop, Hoover, makes a diving catch. He tosses to first. It's a double play as Ryan Howd had the hit and run on. Braxton Lee was going on the pitch. Line drive to Hoover. He makes the catch and tosses to first base, the double-off lead to end the inning. We are finished with 3.5 innings of play. It's the Blue Crabs who lead this one 3-0. Stick with us on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Coach Doug's, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
American Radiology is the clear choice for all of your medical imaging needs. With locations in Charles and Calvert counties, they offer a full range of imaging services. Some of their latest innovations included 3D mammography and wide-open MRIs for our claustrophobic patients. For your convenience, they even offer extended weekday hours and Saturdays. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at AmericanRadiology.com.
This is Andres Riceno, and you are listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, Kelly Dugan will dig in from the left side in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch from Daryl Thompson is swung on, hit high in the air, deep right field. Braxton Lee trying to find it. This ball is out of here, home run. Kelly Dugan goes deep to lead off. In the bottom of the 4th inning, a solo shot onto the tent in right field. It's his 15th home run. It's his 3rd home run in the last 3 games. Third homer in the last 2 games, actually. Hit a home run in the 1st yesterday, hit a home run in the 9th. And homers here in the 4th. First pitch is a called strike on Colton Shaver. The count, no balls and 1 strike. And Kelly Dugan hits fastballs and hits fastballs well. This one swinging a tapper down the first base line. Count 0-2. It's the first run of the game for Lancaster. It's 3-1. Count, no balls and 2 strikes on Shaver. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, breaking ball. And Shaver goes down swinging. There is 1 away. Well, Kelly Dugan is just hitting the cover off the ball right now as he cuts the Blue Crabs lead from 3-0 to 3-1. Here comes Trayvon Robinson. Here's the pitch to Robinson. So a little bit inside the count, 1 ball and no strikes on the day. Daryl Thompson's thrown just 36 pitches across 3 1/3 innings. Tremendous pitch count. This one swung on, hit high in the air, deep right center field. This one back to the track. It's Braxton Lee up against the wall where he makes the catch in front of the Planet Fitness sign in deep right center field. And there are 2 away in the bottom of the 4th. Wow, that ball was very well struck. 2 gone in the bottom of the 4th, and Trace Lair will step in. Happy to have you with us on a Sunday afternoon. We're going to get the trivia question in after this pitch, as the first pitch is up and away for ball 1. Thank you all for joining us. And our trivia question today about Daryl Thompson and Major League Baseball records. 1-0. Swinging a fly ball, left field side, sends Hibbert back in front of the warning track where he makes the catch. Well, I guess we're going to have to wait till the top of the 5th inning, so stick with us. When we come back, we'll announce our trivia question at the top of the 5th. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
As we recognize some birthday.
When you need a win on the road, don't get left stranded. Make AAA part of your roster and you'll always have someone on deck ready to get you home. AAA also offers car care, insurance, and travel services, and has stores conveniently located for Blue Crabs fans in Brandywine, Crofton, and Alexandria. Don't forget to ask them about membership discounts for military and first responders. Please visit AAA.com to learn more or to find a AAA location near you.
This is Matt Latos, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, the first pitch is away to Michael Baca for ball 1 in the top of the 5th inning. Oh, I guess this was a called strike. Count 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch. That's a called strike as well in the count. No balls and 2 strikes on Michael Baca. Count 0-2. Pitch is low. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes now on the righty Baca. Here on the top of the 5th inning, it is 3-1 Blue Crabs. Believe me, we're going to get to this trivia question. This one swinging a ground ball. Terrific backhanded play by Sheaver. The throw to first is in time. How about that? A terrific play by the first baseman, Colton Shaver, who shaded over towards second base and made a backhanded play, sliding to the ground. He gets up and tosses to first in time for the out. One away now in the top of the fifth. Let's do our trivia question now as it's back to the top of the lineup with Matt Hibbert to the plate. It's about Daryl Thompson. Thompson has the most pitches and inning and game started. I beg your pardon. Let's start this one over again. As the pitch is swung on and missed by Matt Hibbert. Daryl Thompson has the most innings pitched and most games started in Atlantic League history. Who has the most starts and most innings pitched in MLB history? And how many innings and starts was that? 0-1 pitch to Hibbert. Called strike in the count, 0-2. Top of the fifth inning. Blue Crabs 3, Lancaster 1. Southern Maryland scored 3 runs in the top of the first. Lancaster scored 1 run in the bottom of the fourth. 0-2, called strike 3. Hibbert goes down looking. There are 2 away. That brings up Ian Yetzko, who's 0 for 2 in today's ball game. Struck out once. Well, the Blue Crabs have had trouble against Brett Clark. First pitch called strike, count 0-1. Ian Yetzko had a home run, a triple, and a single yesterday. The 0-1 pitch is away. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. Yetzko will be followed by Collier if necessary. Pitch. Well, that looked close. Called the ball by the home plate umpire, Bill Ruther. And the top of the fifth. There are 2 away. Two-on pitch. Big wave and a miss at a breaking ball, low and out of the zone. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In the top of the fifth, 3-1 Blue Crabs. Here's the pitch to Yetzko, swinging a foul tip. So let's go back over that trivia question. Wes Mumper says, happy Sunday, let's go Blue Crabs. If anyone else would like to comment in the YouTube chat, go right ahead. We are going to go through our trivia question once more. It's Daryl Thompson has the most innings pitched and games started in Atlantic League history. Who has the most starts and innings pitched in MLB history, and how many innings and starts was that? 2-2 is swung on and missed from Yetzko. He goes down on strikes for the second time today, and that ends the top of the fifth inning. Well, the Blue Crabs have 4 consecutive 1-2-3 innings. They do have a hit in that time period, but also a double play. That ends the top of the fifth inning. The Blue Crabs still lead this one 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the fifth.
All right, good luck to you.
This is Coach Doug's, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
American Radiology is the clear choice for all of your medical imaging needs. With locations in Charles and Calvert counties, they offer a full range of imaging services. Some of their latest innovations included 3D mammography and wide-open MRIs for our claustrophobic patients. For your convenience, they even offer extended weekday hours and Saturdays. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at AmericanRadiology.com.
Here we go. Here it is. On the dugout, now Paulie doing a sit-down, here we go. Left-handed. Approach. Pitcher number 6, Daryl Thompson. How about that? That's ticket number 7. I've never seen that in my 5 years of this. And then ticket number 8. No, it's baby. I go with the chicken something today. Over you, John. Nice to know you from Barnstormers.
The lounge is designed to be a friendly place for racing mothers to feed their babies without missing an inning. Located behind section 13. Check it out. Catcher Anthony Baroni.
First pitch swinging from Anthony Peroni, hit high in the air, deep left field, sends Hibbert back, and he makes the catch for the first out.
Shortstop Jake.
One away in the bottom of the fifth inning. Peroni flies out to left. Wes Mumford says he's going to take a wild shot in the dark and say Nolan Ryan as the number of starts, but he says he's not sure. That's perfectly fair, Wes. We're going to see if we can get some more answers. Maybe Kaylee can get involved here. First pitch is outside. Count 1 ball and no strikes to Hoover. As always, we appreciate all the answers that are given in the YouTube chat. 1-0 pitch, a called strike on Hoover. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. With 1 out in the bottom of the fifth. The 1-1 from Thompson, swinging a high fly ball, center field, straight away. Zach Collier is there. Doesn't have to move more than maybe 5 feet back in total to make the catch for the second out. So 2 up and 2 down here in the fifth. 4 2/3 innings of work so far for Daryl Thompson. He's thrown, get this, 43 pitches. It's been that kind of day for Daryl Thompson. He pitches to contact, and you're going to have a really low pitch count when you do that, and it's a lot of weak contact as well. First pitch, called strike on the outside corner to the 9-hitter, Brett Clark, who's back on the mound and back at the plate. 0-1, swing and a miss, count 0-2. Well, Thompson only has 2 strikeouts, and one of them is to Brett Clark. The other is to Colton Shaver. 0-2 pitch now from Thompson. Swinging a foul ball back behind home plate. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Brett Clark, I'd imagine, is going to go a ways from here as well as he comes back to the plate. There's no action in the bullpen. Clark's gone 4 innings and 35 pitches. 0-2, a little bit low. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on the right-handed hitter. Really a right-handed pitcher more than anything else, but he's hitting. He's a right-handed hitter. 0 for 1 on the year. 1-2. Swinging a high pop-up foul first base side yet again. He's 0 for 1 on the year. He's 0 for 1 on the day. And it is fun to sort of have a pitcher bat every once in a while. 1-2 offering from Thompson is cut on and fouled off, and Brett Clark's working himself quite an at-bat. You know, you don't get to see it in Major League Baseball anymore with the National League adding the designated hitter, but I think it's nice to have it here and there, and I think that's what the double hook rule does. The starter's not going to go 5 innings to see something interesting here. 1-2, swinging a foul ball yet again, and the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. You're never going to see a starter bat, but you will see quite a few relievers to take a few swings. Especially earlier in games if a team doesn't have a deep bench. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Brett Clark worked an 8-pitch at bat, but he goes down looking to end the 5th inning. Daryl Thompson's thrown exactly 50 pitches through 5. We'll step aside when we come back. It's 3-1 Blue Crabs as you go to the top of the 6th.
He underwent chemotherapy.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, Daryl Thompson has pitched 5 strong innings, allowed just 1 earned run on 3 hits. The Blue Crabs lead it 3-1 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Zach Collier who steps in for the Blue Crabs. A very pleasant Sunday. First pitch is up and away for ball 1. Count 1 ball and no strikes on the lefty who bats 3rd in the Blue Crabs order. Well, Brett Clark is back on the mound, and Brett Clark has been amazing so far in this one. Swinging a chopper over to first, nicely gloved by Shaver. He steps on the bag, and there's 1 away. Clark has now gone 4 1/3 innings, and his pitch count at just 44 pitches. Thompson's 5 innings of work at just 50 pitches. Brett Clark has had a few strikeouts along the way. Hadn't had a strikeout actually until the 5th, or he had just 1. He struck out back-to-back batters to end the 5th inning. He had 1 strikeout back in the 4th. But the strikeouts have been coming recently. Has allowed just 1 hit. It was a single from Braxton Lee at the middle. First pitch now to Crosby is swung on and fouled back. Or Walker, I should say. The count 0-1. Walker at first base. It was Crosby who started yesterday at 3rd base, but moved over to first base after Walker was thrown out of the ballgame. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball, right field, right center. It's Kelly Dugan who converges with Clark and gives way to Ladarius Clark, who makes the catch in front of the UPMC sign in right center for the 2nd out. So quickly 2 up and 2 down into the top of the 6th. Brings up Alex Crosby. Now the Blue Crabs haven't really gotten the bats going, and haven't gotten the bats going really at all since the 1st inning, where they had 5 reach, or 6 reach actually, on just 2 hits. There were quite a few walks issued from Chase Johnson. First pitch is away to Alex Crosby. Count 1-0. 1-0, that's low. Shin high in the count. 2 balls and no strikes now on the lefty. But since the 1st inning, only 1 base runner was Braxton Lee, who singled way back in the 4th. 2-0, swinging a ground ball. This one's up the middle for a base hit. Alex Crosby extends his hit streak to 9 games with a single. And it brings up Braxton Lee. He's 2 for 2. He's singled and he's tripled. Yesterday, it was Ian Yetzko, who was 3 for 5 with a home run, a triple, and a single. Lee's got a triple and a single. We're only in the 6th inning. First pitch is cut on and fouled off 3rd base side in the count 0-1. Alex Crosby from first with 2 outs. Top of the 6th, the Blue Crabs with 4 hits, Lancaster with 3. Couple of pitchers with their best stuff dueling today. 0-1. Big wave and a miss from Braxton Lee in the count 0-2. Lee's batting average back to .293. His season high was .299. That was during the York series. (0-2) up and away. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the 6th, the Blue Crabs have a 2-run lead. Southern Maryland hasn't really mustered much offensively since the 1st. Blue Crabs have just 2 hits since then. They lead it 3-1. Lancaster scored 1 in the 4th. 1-2 pitch cut on and fouled off the other way. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a very short portion right. 300 down the line, probably only 315 to traditional right field. Maybe 340 to center, to right center, I should say. It's deep in left field. 1-2 upstairs, count 2-2. In left, down the line it's 320, but it juts out immediately to probably right around 360, 375. 2-2, swing and a miss. Lee goes down on strikes. And that ends the top of the 6th inning. The Blue Crabs still lead at 3-1. Daryl Thompson's thrown just 50 pitches. He goes back out for his 6th inning of work.
I got Ron, I got Lindsay, I got false questions.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Chick-fil-A of Charles County has been a proud supporter of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since their inception in 2008. For years, they have sponsored the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, America's prisoners of war and missing in action. In between the 2nd inning of each game, there is a moment of silence brought to you by Chick-fil-A. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs appreciate and respect not only Chick-fil-A, but all of those that have served our great country. The seat that they sponsor was made possible by Chick-fil-A of Charles County. Thank you so much, and visit any of your Charles County Chick-fil-A locations today.
This is Coach Doug's, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, Darius Clark will lead things off in the bottom of the 6th inning as Daryl Thompson returns to the mound. He's only thrown 50 pitches through 5. It's 3-1 Blue Crabs in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch breaking ball. It's a called strike, and the count no balls and 1 strike. Back to our trivia question. If you haven't answered yet, please put your answer in the YouTube chat. 0-1. Called strike in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Again, right on the outside corner, there's a balloon in the infield. Right above Daryl Thompson on the pitcher's mound. Slowly floats over toward the first baseline. There's not a lot of wind. Enough to carry it just ever so gently over toward the first base side. It's going to eventually get out of play, I'd imagine. Well, we'll get the trivia question in after this pitch. 0-2 pitch. Ooh, close, just a little bit low. Count 1-2. So the question is, well, Daryl Thompson has the most innings pitched and games started in Atlantic League history. 0-2, swinging a line drive. Left center field, it's a base hit. Ladarius Clark aboard to lead things off. He's going for 2. The throw's offline. It's a leadoff double from Ladarius Clark. Runner on second to get things started for the Barnstormers here in the 6th. That's one that really should have been kept to a single. If there's a good throw into second, it's going to get him. But throw is not quite there to get Ladarius Clark. So a leadoff double here in the 6th. And it's the most dangerous part of the order coming up. 1, 2, and 3 is undoubtedly the best part of this order for the Barnstormers. Throw to second for a pickoff that got him. They threw to second. Ian Yetzko got a quick tag on Ladarius Clark, and he's picked off. Lancaster down 3-1, and Ladarius Clark is picked off second base. First pitch is away for ball one, and the count 1 ball and no strikes in the bottom of the 6th inning. Back to our trivia question. This one swung on and line drive down the right field line. It's a foul ball, only missed by a couple of feet. Would have easily been extra bases for Cordero. Well, Daryl Thompson has the most innings pitched and games started in Atlantic League history. Who has the most starts and innings pitched in Major League history? That's our question today. We're going to give you your answer in the bottom of the 6th inning if we have enough answers. If you have not yet answered, please put your answer in the YouTube chat. Again, who has the most starts and innings pitched in Major League Baseball history? And for an added bonus, add how many innings pitched and how many starts he has. 1-1. Swinging a ground ball through the left side. It's a base hit. A single for Andretti Cordero that might have brought in Ladarius Clark should he have not been picked off. But now just a runner on first base and 1 out. That brings up Kelly Dugan. He's the tying run here in the bottom of the 6th. Hit a monster shot last time up. He has 5 home runs in his last 10 at-bats against the Blue Crabs. First pitch called strike at the knees. The count, no balls and 1 strike on the righty, on the lefty, I should say. Righty pitcher, Daryl Thompson against lefty batter, Kelly Dugan. 0-1, swinging a line drive back behind home plate. 81 miles an hour on the pitch. The count 0-2, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Blue Crabs with a 2-run lead, 3 infielders on the right side against the pull hitter. Here's the 0-2 pitch, swinging a line drive. Deep center field sends Collier back in front of the UPMC side. He makes the catch. What a catch from Zach Collier in deep right center up against the wall, and it robs extra bases from Kelly Dugan, who put a charge into that ball. You know, look, he was only maybe 10 feet from going deep again. It's been that kind of series for Kelly Dugan, who's gone deep 15 times this year, has a 2-home run lead atop the Atlantic League. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. The first pitch is low, and the count 1 ball and no strikes now on Colton Shaver, who bats from the right side. As we mentioned earlier, go and put your answers in the YouTube chat if you have one for the most innings pitched and games started in MLB history. As the 1-0 pitch is a little bit up and away, count 2-0. Daryl Thompson has the records in the Atlantic League. Who holds the records in Major League Baseball? We don't have an answer by the end of the 6th year, enough answers. We'll give you your answer in the 7th. Don't worry, top of the 7th, we will give you your answer. 2-0 pitch, a called strike on Shaver. Count 2 balls and a strike. We've got Wes Mumper and Weather Chart who have chimed in. If you are watching today's afternoon contest, put your answer in the YouTube chat. 2-1. Ooh, looked quite good, but just a little off the outside corner. And the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Your home plate umpire today is Bill Ruther. It's originally going to be Justin Alvarez, but he's not at today's game. 3-1 pitch, cut on and foul back, count 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Southern Maryland has a 3-1 lead. Runner on first base, 2 outs, full count. 3-2 from Thompson. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Swing and a foul tip, I beg your pardon. I thought he was a swing and a miss originally, but he did barely get a piece of it. And he stays alive, and the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 6th inning, Blue Crabs still ahead by 2 as for Daryl Thompson. This will be his 66th pitch of the day. Swinging a high pop-up, third base side, Alex Crosby. Right on that third base line where he makes the catch for the final out. Well, that ends the bottom of the 6th inning. Daryl Thompson has gone 6 full. He's allowed 1 run on 4 hits across 6 innings of play on just 65 pitches. I'd imagine he'll be back out for the 7th. The Blue Crabs are trying to add an insurance run in the top of the 7th. Stick with us.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call Tony McClure of Century 21 New Millennium and his Grand Slam team, the realtor of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since our first season in 2008. Tony and his team of preferred partners includes Tim Murphy of CNF Mortgage and Steve Scott of the Scott Law Group. Together, they will ensure that your real estate needs are nothing short of a grand slam. The quality service you will receive is Hall of Fame worthy. Put Tony's 41 plus years of experience to work for you. Call or text Tony today at 301-928-1280 for your personal grand slam experience. Go Blue Crabs. Did you know that the Washington, D.C. metro area is the 5th most expensive place to live in the entire United States of
First pitch to Joe DeLuca is swung on and fouled off third base side. It's going to get onto the hill in left field. It's 3-1 Southern Maryland as we get started in the top of the 7th. Well, it will be Joe DeLuca followed by Ryan Haug and Michael Baca. The Blue Crabs scored 3 runs back in the top of the 1st inning. 0-1 to DeLuca. That runs inside. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, we're happy you decided to join us on a Sunday afternoon. 1-1 pitch, called strike. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looks like Wes Mumper has given the numbers to our answer. We're going to give you the name after this pitch. Count 1 and 2 on Joe DeLuca. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes as the 1-2 misses up and away. So the question was, Daryl Thompson has the most innings pitched in games started in Atlantic League history. Who has the most starts and innings pitched in Major League history? The answer, Cy Young, who had 815 starts, 749 complete games, and 7,300 innings pitched. 2-2 pitch, that runs inside on DeLuca, the count 3-2. 7,300 innings pitched in his career. I mean, if guys go 150 now, that's a lot. And if you do that over 20 years, that's 3,000. So if you go 150 innings over 20 years, it's 3,000. Well, the 3-2 pitch is swung on and drilled over toward right field. It's foul over toward the Clipper Magazine little barn over there. And the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. And it looks like another broken bat from Joe DeLuca. It's the second time today he's traded bats. Not sure it's actually broken or he just wants a new one or exactly what the deal is. But either way, DeLuca will come back to the plate. So back to that last question. Yet Cy Young had 7,300 innings pitched over his career. As I said earlier, if you go 150 innings, or even let's say a ton, which would be 200, over 20 years, you're looking at 4,000 innings pitched. Cy Young, 7,300. 815 starts, and probably the most impressive of them all, 749 complete games. 3-2, swinging a line drive right back up the middle. It's a base hit. DeLuca on base for the second time today. It's his first hit of the game, and there's a runner on first to lead things off in the 7th inning.
Catcher Ryan Howe.
And here comes Ryan Haug. Haug's got a 7-game on-base streak that he's working on. Did not have a hit yesterday, but he was hit by a pitch and also walked. So that snapped a 6-game hitting streak yesterday. Shows bunt. Pitch missed low and away. And a snap throw down to first from Anthony Peroni, but DeLuca back to the bag in time. 3-1 Blue Crabs, top of the 7th. Southern Maryland has had trouble getting anything off of the relief pitcher Brett Clark, who's had an outstanding outing. 5 innings, struck out 4. And the 1-0 pitch is a called strike, has not allowed an earned run yet. He's been accuracy, he's had good accuracy, he's had also low pitch counts, even earned his fair share of strikeouts. 1-1 pitch, swinging a high pop-up right down that first baseline. Colton Shaver is underneath it, and he makes the catch for the first out. 1 away now into the top of the 7th inning. And here comes Michael Baca. Baca 0 for 2 in today's game. He started the day hitting .236, which is the highest average he's had this season. Well, it will be Baca and then Hibbert to follow. With 1 out in the top of the 7th. First pitch, that's upstairs, count 1-0. DeLuca on first base. DeLuca was 3 for 5 in stolen bases last season. Has not attempted one yet this year. 1-0 pitch, swinging a foul ball, first base side. DeLuca was off on the pitch. Count 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. American flag just waving lightly in the wind. From left to right. But really not all that much motion. It was completely motionless earlier. Slight breeze now. 1-1 pitch is low. Count 2 balls and a strike. Southern Maryland 3, Lancaster 1. Top of the 7th. For the Blue Crabs, 3 runs on 5 hits. For Lancaster, 1 run on 5 hits. And a quick toss over from Brett Clark to check on Joe DeLuca. Chasing him back to the bag. Count 2 balls and 1 strike on Baca. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball, foul third base line. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs come into this one 29-10. Have a 10.5 game lead in the North Division. So Blue Crabs have played 39 games. After today, they will have played 40. They'll have just 26 to go in the first half. Runner goes in the 2-2. It misses low and away. Throw down to second. Oh, not in time. The shortstop, Jake Hoover, did not hang on to the ball. If he had, he would have gotten Joe DeLuca. Instead, it's a stolen base. And they're going to intentionally walk Baca with the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't think that anybody knows what's going on. Well, Brett Clark's like, I didn't send you to first. He's like, why is he going to first? And now he's not going to first. He's coming back. I think that Michael Baca thought it was ball 4. It wasn't ball 4. It was ball 3. Well, Brett Clark throws his hands up. He goes, what's going on here? Why are you going to first base? That was ball 3. And Baca was like, I think I'm taking first base here. But he wasn't. So he's now coming back to the batter's box. And the count 3 balls and 2 strikes yet again. That is the second time that's happened this series. I believe it happened to Kelly Dugan earlier in the series. It was on Friday night. Not entirely sure who it happened to on Friday night, but it's the second time it's happened in the series. Well, now it is 3-2. We'll try it again. 3-2 pitch. Swinging a foul ball, first base side. And the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on second base, 1 out. A longer at bat for Brett Clark to work with. As the count is 3-2. This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat upcoming. Swinging a foul ball, first base side. And we'll do it again.
It's another broken bat, and it's brought to you by Trobes Independent Brewing. Make sure you check
Michael
out
Baca will add a new bat. As he waits for his replacement bat, Jared Walker tosses it over. From the third base dugout, the Blue Crabs have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. It's Joe DeLuca, who singled earlier in the inning, and he stole second base. Runner on second, 1 out. 3-1 Blue Crabs in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch, swinging a ground ball, third base side, nicely gloved by the third baseman Cordero. The throw across the diamond is in time. He had all of his momentum going over toward first base. A very strong play from the third baseman Andretti Cordero to retire Michael Baca for the second out. Here comes Matt Hibbert. Hibbert is 1 for 3 today. He doubled to left center field. You have to wonder if this is going to do it, though, for Brett Clark. He went 5 2/3 innings. You can't ask for anything more out of a relief pitcher than that. He threw 74 pitches across 5 2/3. And the Blue Crabs still hold what's just a 3-1 lead. Brett Clark came in and took care of business in a big way with a capital B. We will step aside for the pitching change and break down all the new details on the new pitcher when we come back. It's 3-1 Southern Maryland. There's a runner on second base and 2 outs in the top of the 7th. We are back as the first pitch to Matt Hibbert swung on, line drive, right field line. It's a fair ball. Joe DeLuca scores from second. It's an RBI double for Matt Hibbert on the first pitch off of Tyler Sellentrop, and the Blue Crabs extend the lead to 4-1. Well, Tyler Sellentrop came in with a 1.96 ERA. He pitched yesterday and pitched quite well for Lancaster, but today he allows a double that scores a run. Matt Hibbert's second double of the day, and it's scored Joe DeLuca from second. Not all that well hit of a ball, but enough to fall down that right field line and drive in a run. Matt Hibbert roped a double back in the first. This one, more of a bloop double. They all work the same, though. First pitch is low to Ian Yetzko, and the count 1-0. Yetzko had an amazing game yesterday. He's had a tough one so far today. 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Sellentrop is set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count 1-1 on Yetzko. It's no doubt it's a great day for baseball. The crowd recognizes that here in Lancaster. Place is packed. 1-1 pitch. Count 2 balls and a strike. Especially over the dugouts and back under the shaded area. Right behind home plate there are some fans, but really further back is where there are more fans as opposed to closer to the field. Count 2 balls and 1 strike on Yetzko. Here's the pitch. Low and away. Count 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike on the right-handed hitter, who homered yesterday, added a 2 RBI triple, also singled, found himself just a double short of the cycle. Count 3-1 on Yetzko, who bats second for the Blue Crabs. 3-1, swing and a miss, and a pitch low and out of the zone. Count 3-2, went fishing for that one. A 97-mile-an-hour gas. Blue Crabs 4, Lancaster 1. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes on Yetzko. With Hibbert off of second, here's the pitch. That's ball 4. It was a little bit low and away, and Ian Yetzko draws a walk. So there are runners on first and second with 2 outs. Well, Zach Collier kicks around some dirt from the left side. Sellentrop with a 1.96 ERA. He's run into some trouble so far in this one, though. A bloop double down the first base line, and then a 6-pitch walk to Ian Yetzko to put 2 on with 2 out. Blue Crabs have also added a run. Technically is not his run, as it was a single from Joe DeLuca prior to his coming in. This one low in the dirt. Hibbert got a very large secondary lead, but had to dive back to the bag after the catcher Peroni got to it and threw down to second base. Count 1 ball and no strikes after the pitch in the dirt on Zach Collier. The Blue Crabs 4, Lancaster 1. Hibbert from second, Yetzko from first. The heart of the Blue Crabs order still coming up. Trying to mount a big 2-out rally. 1-0 pitch. That's low, and it's going to get by Peroni altogether this time. Allows Matt Hibbert and Ian Yetzko to advance to second and third. All of a sudden, there are runners on second and third with 2 outs. A simple base hit could give the Blue Crabs 2 additional insurance runs. It seems as though this is Daryl Thompson's start as long as he wants it if he keeps pitching the way he is now. It never hurts to give your starter some extra insurance runs. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Whoa, big wave and a miss. 96 sizzles past Collier's bat. It's a strike right around belt high, and he swung under it. Hibbert from third. Yetzko from second. 4-1 Southern Maryland. 2-1 pitch, a weaker swing this time on a 97-mile-an-hour heater. And the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Hibbert drove in a run on a RBI double, scored DeLuca earlier in the top of the 7th. Blue Crabs trying to drive in another pair. 2-2 pitch. That's inside. Count runs full at 3-2. I don't think that Zach Collier is going to try to take off for first base here and claim it's ball 4. As we had earlier in the inning. We've seen that a few times in this series. It's really quite funny. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Collier goes down on strikes to end the top of the 7th inning. Blue Crabs strand 2. They do score 1. The end of 6.5. It is the Blue Crabs 4 and the Barnstormers 1. Stick with us on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Coach Doug's, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
All Pawn is Southern Maryland's premier pawn shop and is the official pawn shop of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Stop by and say hello today. They've been a part of the Southern Maryland community for 18 years. If you need some cash to hold you over, or if you're just doing some spring cleaning and want to clear some stuff out, please bring it by All Pawn and let them make you an offer. If you have broken jewelry or some that you just don't want anymore, please bring it by, and they'll pay you more than anyone in the Tri-County area. They're located on 301 in White Plains, just south of DeMar Road. Go Blue Crabs!
This is Matt Latos, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, 5, 6, and 7 will come to the plate in the top of the 7th inning for Lancaster. They trail 4-1. Daryl Thompson returns for his 7th inning of work. He's gone 6 strong, thrown just 67 pitches. And here is Trayvon Robinson, who bats from the left side. Robinson followed by the 6-hitter Trey Slayer and the 7-hitter Anthony Peroni. First pitch swinging, foul ball, first base side in the line, and the count 0-1. Alex Crosby picks up the ball, gives it to Eddie Butler. And it's Mackenzie Mills, who had a terrific start yesterday, who ends up tossing it to a fan in the front row. Mills went 7 innings, allowing just 2 earned. 0-1, a massive looping breaking ball at 65 miles an hour, and it's in there for a swinging strike on Trayvon Robinson, who wanted to swing at it, but he was just way out in front. 0-2 pitch. 74 miles an hour on the changeup that misses away. Well, Thompson, he doesn't throw all that hard with a fastball. He's thrown as high as 87 today, but most of it's been low to mid-80s. 1-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive over past the diving reach of Alex Crosby on the third base line. It was a weak line drive, but enough to get that one in. And Hibbert out in the left field finally corrals it over by the Blue Crabs bullpen. And there's a leadoff double for Trayvon Robinson here in the 7th. Again, did not hit the ball all that hard, just in a perfect spot. And Crosby couldn't get there in time. And here comes Trace Lair, followed by Anthony Peroni and Jake Hoover. The pitch count isn't high for Daryl Thompson, but given where we are in the ball game, I'd be interested to see whether the Blue Crabs are more interested in turning to the bullpen with Endris Briseño and Matt Latos to the back end. First pitch called strike, count 0-1. When you also have guys like Nick Wells and Patrick Baker who've had terrific seasons thus far that can go in the 7th, it might make some sense to use them in this situation. 0-1, big wave and a miss. Off-speed pitch low and out of the zone. The count 0-2 now on Trace Lair. Runner on second base, no outs. Top of the 7th inning. Count 0-2 on Trace Lair. Trayvon Robinson from second base. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Lair goes down swinging, and there's one away in the bottom of the 7th.
Catcher Anthony Peroni.
And here comes Anthony Peroni. Anthony Peroni is 1 for 2 today. He doubled back in the 3rd. Did not score a run. It was a leadoff double. Very similar situation to Trayvon Robinson. Pitch to Peroni. Called strike. Count 0-1. Peroni's had a tough year this year, hitting just 141. Hoover hitting 286. And the 9 hitters sort of up in the air as to whether or not they're going to go back to Tyler Sellentrop. Pitch, called strike. Count 0-1. Or count 0-2, I should say. I mean, it looks as though the Barnstormers are going to use a pinch hit. No, it's Jake Hoover on deck. I beg your pardon. Peroni at the plate right now. 0-2. Swinging a high fly ball, left field rather deep, sends Hibbert back in front of the wall on the warning track where he makes the catch at the Wegman sign. Fires into third base, but not in time to get Trayvon Robinson tagging from second to third.
The shortstop, Jake Hoover.
And Jake Hoover is on deck. So after the strikeout to Trace Lair, Anthony Peroni flies out to left. And there are 2 away now in the bottom of the 7th. Daryl Thompson has thrown 77 pitches through 6 2/3. First pitch, a little bit low and away, in the count 1-0. Well, Jake Hoover is hitting 246 on the season. He's 1 for 2 today. He singled and stole a base back in the 3rd. 1-0 pitch, swinging a high pop-up, shallow right field. It's Braxton Lee who calls everyone off and makes the catch shoulder high for the final out. Well, that ends the 7th inning. The Blue Crabs still have a 3-run lead at the end of 7. It's 4-1. You're listening to Blue Crabs baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. The Blue Crabs look to complete the sweep in the last 2 innings when we come back.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call Tony McClure of Century 21 New Millennium and his Grand Slam team, the realtor of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since our first season in 2008. Tony and his team of preferred partners includes Tim Murphy of CNF Mortgage and Steve Scott of the Scott Law Group. Together, they will ensure that your real estate needs are nothing short of a grand slam. The quality service you will receive is Hall of Fame worthy. Put Tony's 41 plus years of experience to work for you. Call or text Tony today at 301-928-1280 for your personal grand slam experience. Go Blue Crabs. Did you know that the Washington, D.C. metro area is the 5th most expensive place to live in the entire United States of America? Sometimes finding affordable housing in this area can feel impossible. If you're struggling to find affordable housing, look no further than the Villages of St. Charles by Ross Properties. You can visit them online at villagesatstcharles.com for more information today. Villages of St. Charles, they'll have you safe at home.
This is Joe DeLuca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
We are back in the top of the 8th inning. 4-1 Blue Crabs. 4, 5, and 6 come to the plate against the new pitcher, Eric Cha. It's Jared Walker who digs in from the left side and takes ball 1 upstairs. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Eric Cha has a 3.38 ERA. 1-0, called strike on the outside corner. Count 1 ball and 1 strike now on the lefty Jared Walker. Walker is 0 for 2 today. He also walked. That was way back in the first inning. Here's the pitch, called strike. And the count 1-2 on a breaking ball. Thigh high, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes with no outs. Top of the 8th. Base paths are empty. Lefty-lefty matchup against Cha. 1-2, that's away. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cha has appeared in 3 games so far this year. 2-2, that is behind Jared Walker. Seemed to slip out of Cha's hand. And the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. And his last outing against Southern Maryland yesterday, 1 inning, 1 hit. One hit, no runs. He struck out 1. And the time prior on Friday night went an inning and 2/3. 1 hit, 1 run. He allowed a solo home run to Jared Walker. 3-2, it's low and away, and ball 4 way outside. It actually gets past the catcher, Peroni, and there's a runner on first base with nobody out in the top of the 8th. Blue Crabs lead this one 4-1. If they can hang on, they would sweep the Barnstormers for the 2nd time this season, move to 6-0 against Lancaster. They would also win their 7th game in their last 8 tries and extend their winning streak to 4 games. Blue Crabs have had a 12-game win streak, a 7-game win streak, a 3-game win streak, and they're currently on a 3-game win streak. This one cut on and dribbled foul, third base side, count 0-1 on Crosby. The Blue Crabs, with a win today, would move to 30-10. Count 0-1 here on the top of the 8th. We'll bring you around the Atlantic League shortly. 0-1 pitch looked good, just a little bit outside to Crosby, and the count 1-1. Well, we're happy you've decided to join us on a terrific Sunday afternoon in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Runner goes, 1-1 pitch, swinging a high fly ball over toward left field. It's the left fielder Trayvon Robinson who's there and makes the catch and forces Walker back to the bag.
Right fielder Braxton Lee.
Here comes Braxton Lee. One out and in the top of the 8th. After Crosby goes down and a fly out the other way. Crosby has extended his hit streak to 9 games though. Came back in the 6th with a single. Here is Braxton Lee, 2 for 3. He had a bases clearing triple back in the first and a single in the 4th. First pitch is way outside for ball 1. Count 1-0. One ball and no strikes on Lee. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball foul. Third base side of the count, one ball and 1 strike. Well, it is Crosby from first and Lee at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 4-1. Southern Maryland leads over Lancaster. Shaw, the lefty, steps off. Lee will be followed by DeLuca here in the 8th. 1-1. That's a called strike on the outside corner. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes now. The 1-2 pitch might have been a little bit up and away according to our strike zone here. It was outside. 1-2. Cut on and fouled off. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Meanwhile, over on first base, it is Jared Walker. Runner on first base, 1 out. 4-1 Southern Maryland. Braxton Lee cleared the bases in the first. Scored 3 of those 4 runs. This one cut on, fouled back. Count remains 1-2. He really drove in 3 of the 4 runs. The Barnstormers cut it to 3-1 in the 4th. The Blue Crabs tacked on another run on the top of the 7th on an RBI double from Matt Hibbert. Here we are on the top of the 8th now. 1-2 pitch. That's low and away. Count 2-2. DeLuca on, I beg your pardon, DeLuca on deck. On first base, it's Walker. Following DeLuca, if necessary, it would be Ryan Haug. Pitch to Braxton Lee, a breaking ball swung on and missed. It was a defensive swing on a pitch a little bit inside and off the plate. And there are 2 outs. Here comes Joe DeLuca, who's batting from the right side. He'd been batting from the left side throughout the day, and now turns it around from the right side. Lee goes down swinging. There are now 2 away in the top of the 8th with a runner on first base. Shaw set. Now the home plate umpire, Bill Ruther, calls time. Your umpiring crew today, Bill Ruther behind the plate. It's Warren Nicholson at first and Carl Villanueva over at third. He's currently stationed at second base, though, due to the runner on first. First pitch to DeLuca, cut on and fouled off over toward the Blue Crabs dugout. Count 0-1. 4-1, Southern Maryland. 3 in the first, added 1 in the top of the 7th. Meanwhile, Lancaster scored a run in the 4th on a solo shot from Kelly Dugan. He has 5 home runs in his last 11 at-bats against the Blue Crabs. Here's the first pitch. Oh, or the 0-1, I should say. Cut on and missed on a breaking ball low and out of the zone. Really good-looking pitch from Cha. The count 0-2. Runner on first, 2 outs. Blue Crabs looking to keep this rally alive. Added insurance run in the process. 0-2 to DeLuca. Swing and a miss, struck him out. DeLuca goes down swinging, and that ends the top of the 8th inning. Oh, we go to the bottom of the 8th. The Blue Crabs have a 3-run lead. We'll step aside when we come back. Break down Daryl Thompson's 7 innings of work, and he'll be back out for the start of the 8th.
This is Dalton Geeky, and you're listening to Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Bottom of the 8th inning, the Blue Crabs have a 4-1 lead over Lancaster. With the base paths empty and nobody out, first pitch from Thompson. Big wave and a miss from Devon Torrance, who is pinch hitting in the 9 spot. And the count 0-1. I merely say the 9 spot because he's not really pitch hitting for anybody in particular. Sellentrop was in recently, most recently, as 0-1. Swinging a foul ball back behind home plate, count 0-2. But they've just had a collection of pitchers in that 9 spot who have been going in and out of the game. The only one who's really batted with any consistency was Clark, who went 5 2/3 innings. So, of course, he's going to get a couple of at-bats. 0-2, check swing, they motion over to first. And the third base umpire, Carl Villanueva, said he held up. So the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Bottom 8. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 74 miles an hour on the off speed, and Devon Torrance was way ahead of it. There is 1 out now in the 8th for Thompson. It's his 5th strikeout. He's thrown just 83 pitches through 7 1/3 innings. Blue Crabs 5 outs away. There is action in the Blue Crabs pen. It's Nick Wells who is warming up. First pitch, swinging a slow ground ball, third base side, fielded by Crosby. Tough play, the throw to first is in time. That's the right call. It was a very close play. I had a good view of it down this first base line, and that was a terrific call over at first base by the umpire, Warren Nicholson, as Crosby's throw beat Ladarius Clark, and there is 1 away. That brings up Andretti Cordero. Thompson looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning. He's only thrown 84 pitches now through 7 2/3. First pitch swing, high fly ball, right field deep. Lee back to the wall. He leaps and makes the catch. Well, how about that? Daryl Thompson works just a 6-pitch inning as Braxton Lee saves extra bases against the wall. He's thrown 85 pitches through 8 innings. I'd imagine he'll be back out for the 9th as the Blue Crabs have a 4-1 lead after 8 innings of play. We go to the top of the 9th on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Stick with us.
American Radiology is the clear choice for all of your medical imaging needs. With locations in Charles and Calvert counties, they offer a full range of imaging services. Some of their latest innovations included 3D mammography and wide-open MRIs for our claustrophobic patients. For your convenience, they even offer extended weekday hours and Saturdays. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at AmericanRadiology.com. When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call Tony McClure of Century 21 New Millennium and his Grand Slam team, the realtor of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since our first season in 2008. Tony and his team of preferred partners includes Tim Murphy of CNF Mortgage and Steve Scott of the Scott Law Group. Together, they will ensure that your real estate needs are nothing short of a grand slam. The quality service you will receive is Hall of Fame worthy. Put Tony's 41-plus years of experience to work for you. Call or text Tony today at 301-928-1280 for your personal Grand Slam experience. Go Blue Crabs.
Eight, 9, and 1 to come to the plate in the top of the 9th for the Blue Crabs. They lead 4-1 over the Lancaster Barnstormers. New pitcher into the game, it's Josh Graham, who has a 0.90 ERA. And the first pitch is low and away for ball 1. Well, the Blue Crabs looking to shut down this ball game. Have a 4-1 lead on a Sunday afternoon. 1-0. That ran inside. It's hit Haug. That's the 16th time that Ryan Haug has been hit by a pitch. 16 times Ryan Haug's been drilled. That is utterly unbelievable. I have never seen anything like the consistency at which Ryan Haug has been hit by pitches. Well, that extends his on-base streak. That's what it does. I'm sure he would have rather walked or gotten a hit, but it's one way to go about doing it. Runner on first base and one out. Graham against Baca. First pitch called strike at the knees, count 0-1. Runner on first, nobody out. Top of the ninth, 3-run lead for Southern Maryland. Well, Graham has pitched in 17 games. He's 4 for 5 in save opportunities. Most recently pitched at Staten Island in game 2 of that series. This one swung on, line drive, foul. Third base side toward the Blue Crabs bullpen. And the count 0-2.
Foul ball brought to you by Frisco's Chicken, home of Lancaster's favorite chicken.
I was telling you guys this earlier back in game 1, but every foul ball is sponsored. And they're different sponsors. It's not all the same one. Frisco's Chicken is one of them. But they've got a number of different sponsors for every single foul ball. It's a lot of announcements. Count 0-2. Swing and a miss. Baca goes down on strikes. Baca without a hit today. As he goes 0 for 4 in today's contest. Had a great game yesterday, but not his day today. As Matt Hibbert comes to the plate, he's 2 for 4. He's got a pair of doubles. Driven in a run. He's also scored a run on the 3 RBI triple from Braxton Lee. Runner on first base for the Blue Crabs. And one out. Blue Crabs have just 6 hits today. First pitch to Hibbert, swing and a miss. Count 0-1. But they have also received 5 walks and 1 hit batsman. So they have 6 hits. They also have 6 free passes. And for giving up free passes like that, you have as many hits as you have free passes. It's tough to keep other teams off the board. 0-1. Swinging a line drive, hard hit, shallow left field. It's a base hit. One hops in front of the left fielder, Trayvon Robinson. It's the 3rd hit of the day for Matt Hibbert, who's 3 for 5 in today's contest. Brings up Ian Yetzko. Yetzko 0 for 3. He struck out twice. He's also walked once. And there are runners on first and second here in the 9th. So after Ryan Haug was hit by a pitch, Michael Baca strikes out. Matt Hibbert singles to left, first and second with 1 out. As the first pitch swung on and missed from Ian Yetzko on a breaking ball, and the count 0-1. We're happy you decided to join us here for the top of the 9th inning in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. 0-1 pitch to Yetzko, swinging a ground ball through the left side for a base hit. They're going to wave around Haug. Oh, and now he's going to pull up. It was probably a good decision initially to have him pull up because the Blue Crabs already have a 4-1 lead. No need to force anything. They got the middle of the order coming up anyway, as Zach Collier will come to the plate. There is some action in the Blue Crabs bullpen. There has been some for quite some time. Bases loaded for the Blue Crabs. 4-1 lead for Southern Maryland already. They're trying to increase that lead and give Daryl Thompson a little bit of extra room. In the 9th inning, he's already gone 8 innings, allowed 6 hits. He's struck out 5. He's walked 1. Not only 1 earned run. First pitch called strike. Count 0-1 now on Collier. Well, Yetzko started the game off by striking out twice. But since then, he's walked. He's picked up a base hit. 0-1 pitch, swung on, a high chopper foul over toward the Lancaster bullpen. The count 0-2. Well, Jared Walker in the on-deck circle. As the Blue Crabs scored 3 runs in the first. They've added 1 in the 7th. Lead this game 4-1. The lone run for Lancaster, a solo shot from Kelly Dugan back in the 4th. This one cut on a high fly ball, right field, rather deep for Kelly Dugan, who makes the catch. Tagging from third, it's Haug. Throw to the plate is a little bit late. It was a good throw from Dugan. Solid arm strength there, but not nearly in time to get Haug. And there are 2 outs. Runners move up to second and third. The Blue Crabs tack on another run. It's 5-1 as Jared Walker comes to the plate. A base hit here for the Blue Crabs could extend their lead to 7-1. And I think the question here is, do you want to get someone in your bullpen some work done, or do you want to give Daryl Thompson the complete game? Because he's only thrown 85 pitches. This is a guy that we know can go much deeper than that. Threw 122 at Long Island earlier this year. He and Mitch Lamson go very deep into starts. We will see Mitch Lamson on Wednesday. First pitch to Jared Walker is swung on and missed. Count 0-1. The Blue Crabs will see Denson Hull on Tuesday, Lamson on Wednesday, and Butler on Thursday against the Ducks. Ducks have a 7-0 lead right now over Staten Island in the 6th, so the lead will likely stay at 10.5 games if the Blue Crabs manage to hold on here, and Long Island does as well. Runners on second and third, 2 outs. The 0-1 called strike, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. Hibbert from third. Yetzko from second. Zach Collier had a sacrifice fly that scored. Ryan Haug from third. Pitch to Walker, cut on and drilled foul first base side. Got every bit of that ball. Jared Walker to step back in from the left side. Infield well back toward the outfield grass. Top of the 9th inning, 5-1 Southern Maryland. Have an opportunity to blow this one wide open, though, with a couple more runs. Graham set. Here's the 0-2. Swinging a foul ball back behind home plate. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Daryl Thompson has so far gone 8 innings, allowed 6 hits, 1 earned run. He struck out 5. You do have to wonder how long the leash is whenever you go out in the 9th inning looking to pick up a complete game for a win, knowing that you have someone in the bullpen either in Wells or Latos or Briseño who can come in and finish the job. Oh, 0-2 pitch from Graham. Swinging a high pop-up foul third base side, out of play. And Nick Wells was warming up earlier. I imagine it would probably be Latos, the go-to guy tonight or this afternoon. Attendance 2611 today. Really solid crowd on hand here at Clipper Magazine Ballpark. Graham is set. 0-2 pitch. That's low and in. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Not sure that was anywhere near the strike zone. A heckler yelling at the umpire, though. 2 on, 2 out. 5-1 Blue Crabs in the ninth. Blue Crabs looking to get their sweep of the Barnstormers. A win today for Southern Maryland would be 7 wins in their last 8 games. And a 4-game winning streak. Graham set, 1-2 pitch. That's away, and then count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on for the Blue Crabs. Runner on second, runner on third. As there's now a gentle wind from right to left. It's blowing out toward left field. The 20th pitch from Graham. Here's the offering. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball low and out of the zone, and he gets Jared Walker to chase. The Blue Crabs will look to finish things off in the ninth as they go to the bullpen. Stick with us here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Receive a coupon for a free small pizza from
Well, we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. It's 5-1 Southern Maryland as they lead the Lancaster Barnstormers and are looking to sweep the series. They've gone to the bullpen. Daryl Thompson went 85 pitches over 8 innings. First pitch from Endris Brasino is away for ball 1. And the count 1 ball and no strikes on Kelly Dugan. 3, 4, and 5 due up in the order for Lancaster. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, called strike at 83, and the count 0-1. Or 1-1, I should say. 1 ball, 1 strike on the lefty Dugan, who's gone deep once today. Went deep twice last night and 5 times in his last 11 at-bats against the Blue Crabs. 1-1, a 95-mile-an-hour heater on the outside corner in the count 1-2. Dugan not even chasing it. Brasenio set, gets a sign from his catcher, Haug. 1-2 is low in the dirt on a slider, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's an aggressive breaking pitch down and out of the zone. Really mirrors a fastball more than anything else, with a lot of drop on it late. Brasenio gets a sign from Haug. 2-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball foul, first base side. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brasenio 94-97 on the fastball. Hit as high as 98 2 nights ago. Blue Crabs getting him some work today. Comes in with a 1 ERA and a 1.06 whip. 2-2 pitch, 97 on the fastball on the outside corner. Fouled away. Three fielders on the right side for the Blue Crabs. They use the shift. The shift will likely be abolished in Major League Baseball at the start of the 2023 season. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive, well hit foul, third base side. Onto the hill. When he's throwing that hard, you know, it's going to really pop off the bat. 96 miles an hour on the sinker. 8th pitch of the at-bat upcoming against Kelly Dugan. It's been a very hard out for the Blue Crabs. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball, foul yet again. The 8th pitch of the at-bat. Dugan and Brasenio duking it out. I wouldn't be stunned to see him, drop in a breaking ball. The last thing you want to do is hang a breaking ball, though, for Dugan. Count 2-2 in the bottom of the 9th. 5-1 Blue Crabs. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul ball back behind home plate. Count remains 2-2. Well, Dugan leads the Atlantic League in home runs with 15, hitting .345 on the year. He's 1 for 3 today, provided the lone run for Lancaster. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a check swing and a foul ball over toward the third base side up into the sweet level. And the count remains 2-2. Brasenio not backing down. It's been 95, 96, 97 with these sinkers up and out of the zone, some of them. But Dugan there for each one of them. Here's the 2-2 yet again. Swinging a high pop-up, fouling again. That was the 11th pitch of the at-bat. Andres Brasenio keeps on battling with Kelly Dugan. This will be the 12th pitch. A marathon at-bat against the lefty. How mentally taxing it must be as well. 2-2. Swinging a high fly ball, left field rather deep. It sends Hibbert back in front of the wall in the corner where he makes the catch for the first out. Well, Brasenio pounded another 97-mile-an-hour fastball at Dugan, who hit that one down the third baseline, the right field line, deep, maybe only 10 feet in front of the 320 sign. And there is one away. Shows the kind of power that Dugan has, though. On a 97-mile-an-hour sinker. Didn't get all of it. Hit it 310 feet, but enough for Hibbert to track it down. Here's Colton Shaver. I think that Brasenio hopes he doesn't have another 12-pitch at bat. First pitch is up and in at 97 in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. A long battle for the first out for the Blue Crabs in the bottom of the 9th. 1 away, 5-1 Southern Maryland. Pitch to Shaver, cut on and popped up foul. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. The in-stadium radar gun clocked Brasenio at 97 a few times. Our online system tracked him at 96.5 or so. but he's been right in that ballpark throughout the year. 1-1, a little low, count 2-1. Hit as high as 97.9 in our online system on Friday night. That's the velocity that Andres Briseño brings. 2-1 pitch. Check swing, but it's a called strike nonetheless. It's 2-2. Goes to a breaking ball at 83. When you can bring 97 with 83, that makes it tough to hit. It's tough to hit a breaking ball when it's coming in at 83. Well, a 2-2 pitch cut on, popped up in foul territory. Alex Crosby over toward the dugout. He lost it and fell right behind him. Oh my, it should have been the second out, and he completely lost it in the sun, overran it, and then I think he didn't know where it was, and it fell probably 4 feet behind him. In foul territory down that third base side. Well, it should have been the second out. It's not going to be, though. Does not go down as an error technically because it didn't hit his glove, but those are plays I think probably should be. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Breaking ball. Oh, it came up and in and hit Colton Shaver. So instead of a pop out, it's a hit batter. Briseño's thrown 18 pitches to record just 1 out. Trayvon Robinson comes to the plate. Runner on first and 1 out. Bottom of the 9th inning. Lancaster 1, Blue Crabs 5. Temperatures for today's game in the upper 70s in Lancaster, 78 to be exact. As we inch towards 4 p.m. First pitch, oh, big wave and a miss on a breaking ball from Trayvon Robinson. Yeah, it was an 83.5 mile an hour slider that hit Colton Shaver on the elbow. It's not comfortable, but probably more comfortable than a 97 mile an hour fastball. 0-1 pitch is low. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on Briseño. Southern Maryland looking to take home a win today. Dennis Moore said, almost missed the game, looking good, Blue Crabs. When does the first half end? Well, after this game, there'll be just 26 games remaining in the first half. 1-1 pitch, a beautiful breaking ball, count 1-2. Donnie Geeky says, let's go Blue Crabs. A Sunday afternoon contest. There are 66 games in the first half. The Blue Crabs will have played 40 after this one. 1-2. Hard breaking ball low in the dirt. Trayvon Robinson stays off of it. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes now on the lefty. Hard fought at bat with probably the best hitter in the Atlantic League, Kelly Dugan, who's hit 15 home runs and is hitting .340. Briseño got the best of him, though. 310-foot fly out down the left field line. 2-2 pitch to Robinson. Oof, very close. Just off the inside edge in the count 3-2. Dugan leads from first, 1 out, 5-1 Southern Maryland. The bottom of the 9th inning. 3-2 pitch, that's up and away. It's ball 4, runners on first and second now with just 1 out. You'd have to think from Briseño's perspective, you know, you're throwing so many pitches in that first at bat, you get ahead of the count on Robinson and then end up walking him. It's a tough one to swallow. 2 on, 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. There really should be 2 outs. It's not going to go down as an error, but Alex Crosby had a fly ball there. he overran, or pop up in the infield and foul ground. He overran it, and it bounced 3 feet behind him. And there will be 2 outs and 1 on. Instead, 1 out and 2 on. Trace Lair at the plate. First pitch swinging, line drive, deep left field, down the line. This ball is a foul ball. One of an extra bases from Trace Lair, and scored a pair of runs probably. Instead, the count, no balls and 1 strike. Andres Briseño came into this game with a 1 ERA. He's taken 24 pitches. He's recorded just 1 out. A couple of really long and hard-fought at-bats. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball low and in, and the count 0-2 now on Lair. So he's ahead in the count, looking to put him away with a strikeout. Briseño struck out 30 batters across 18 innings. Briseño gets a sign from his catcher, Haug, with 1 out. Runners on first and second. He's set. The 0-2. Way low and in, and nearly hit him at 96 miles an hour. Whoa. Extremely hard fastball. It's going to chase Lair off the plate. Wow. Briseño's generally had some really good control. He would like a new baseball now, though. As I think that last one probably slipped a little bit out of his hands. Well, he's got the new baseball. Well, the Barnstormers, this one swinging a ground ball, and it's hit foul down the first base side. As I was going to say there moments ago, the Barnstormers have runners on first and second with 1 out. Shaver from second, Robinson from first. Trace Lair at the plate. Blue Crabs starting pitching today was nothing short of tremendous. Blue Crabs went with Daryl Thompson, the pitching coach. He went 8 innings, just 1 earned. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. Trace Lair goes down on strikes. And Andres Briseño with a sigh of relief. The 29th pitch of the inning is the second out. Had an extremely difficult at-bat against Kelly Dugan. And Kelly Dugan went deep to left on him, and a fly out down the left field line. He homered once earlier in this game, has 3 home runs in the last 2 games, and had a 12-pitch battle against Briseño. Then a couple of longer at-bats. One that should have ended in a pop-up, instead ends in a hit by pitch. First pitch swinging now to Anthony Peroni is hit high in the air, shallow center. It's Zach Collier who trots in and makes the catch for the final out. The Blue Crabs have swept the Lancaster Barnstormers. They've won their 4th straight. They've won their 7th in their last 8 games. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs continue to roll. They're 30-10 on the season, and this team just keeps on winning. Southern Maryland's got 26 games to go. They got a 10.5 game lead over the Long Island Ducks. They will face the Long Island Ducks for 3 games starting on Tuesday. Blue Crabs will head home this evening, and they will play their next home game on Tuesday. It's nice for the Blue Crabs to get a bit of an off day tomorrow. I'm sure the Blue Crabs, some Blue Crabs players getting some work in the batting cages as always. But the Blue Crabs, winners of 4 straight over the Lancaster Barnstormers. They've actually won all 6 games they played against the Barnstormers this season. And they look to continue their winning ways as they go home on Tuesday to take on the Long Island Ducks. We'll run back through a couple of key performers in today's game and then send you on your way here on a Sunday afternoon. Well, let's start with the pitchers for the Blue Crabs. Thompson goes 8 innings, allows 6 hits, 1 earned run. He walked 1 and struck out 5. Briseño goes an inning. He walks 1. He strikes out 1. Took him 30 pitches to get through this inning of work. Now from the bats, it was Matt Hibbert who came through with 3 hits. He was 3 for 5. He also scored a run and drove in a run. Ian Yetzko 1 for 4. He also walked in today's ball game. He's hitting .315 on the year. Zach Collier was 0 for 4. He drove in a run. Jared Walker 0 for 3. He walked twice. Alex Crosby extends his hit streak to 9 games. He's 1 for 3. He scored a run and he walked once. Braxton Lee had 2 hits today, including an all-important 3 RBI double back in the first inning. It set the tone for the Blue Crabs. They never trailed today. They were never even tied after the top of the first inning. And Joe DeLuca was 1 for 3. He walked and drove in a run as well. Ryan Haug 0 for 3 today. He also scored a run. Michael Baca was 0 for 4. The Blue Crabs mustered 8 hits on 33 at-bats. Lancaster also had some trouble with control. They walked 5 batters and hit 1. And the Blue Crabs win this game by a score of 5-1. Back through the scoring plays in today's ball game. Let's start in the first inning. It was Braxton Lee with the bases loaded. Hit a triple the other way to left center field. Scored Matt Hibbert, Jared Walker, and Alex Crosby in the bottom of the 4th. Lancaster got 1 back. It was Kelly Dugan who launched a home run over the wall in right to cut the deficit to 3-1. The Blue Crabs rallied again in the 7th. Joe DeLuca led off with a single. He stole second base, and he was driven in on an RBI double from Matt Hibbert. Zach Collier also drove in a run on a sacrifice fly. Blue Crabs had the bases loaded with 1 out, and it brought Ryan Haugen from third base. Well, that's all from today's ball game. The Blue Crabs continue to win. They're now 30-10 overall on the season. They've won 4 in a row. On the road, this team moves to 15-8. They're 15-2 at home as they begin a series with the Long Island Ducks. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in to today's broadcast. Southern Maryland is now 6-0 overall against the Barnstormers, and they are winners of 7 of the last 8 games. As we sign off on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network, I'm Austin Rooney, and as always, let's go, Blue Crabs.